Okay.
Okay. The first question I have for you is, what do you think about when you hear the term educational technology?
I think educational technology encompasses a variety of things. Anything from an Elmo to a smart TV to a computer, whether it be laptop or desktop, calculators, project, anything that involves that is what I consider educational technology.
Do you find tools like that to be difficult or easy to grasp?
Very easy, and very valuable as well.
Okay. Do you think your students prefer with or without technology, their lessons?
Almost definitely with technology. In fact, a lot of times they're more savvy than we are because they've grown up in a society where technology is pretty commonplace. They have their smartphones and they play video games, and it's almost as if you teach with technology being part of your curriculum, you're speaking their language. Mm-hmm. So I think it's quite valuable, and they most definitely enjoy it and understand things, I think, better that way.
Do you feel at any time, like, speaking of that and their abilities, do you feel intimidated by their abilities, or do you more welcome it?
Actually, I welcome it because I tell the kids at the beginning of the year, we're all going to learn this year. Mm-hmm. I'll learn from them, they'll learn from me, they'll learn from each other. It's I don't put myself on a pedestal and think that I'm above learning anything. I learn something new every single day, and it doesn't matter where it comes from. My kids, my students, my colleagues. So I'm definitely a lifelong learner.
Because some of the literature I've gone through in preparation for this study, a lot of teachers have that fear of failure in front of their kids because they feel that their kids are so much more capable, and that is one of the reasons a lot of teachers don't use technology.
Yeah, I think that's a shame. And to be quite honest, I may have felt that way in the beginning because I think as adults, especially as adult teachers, we think we're supposed to know everything. We're supposed to teach our students, and I really think we need to get away from that. I'm much more at ease now since taking that attitude.
Okay. Do you feel like you're prepared to use technology, like as in the county or your formal or informal education has prepared you to use this technology?
I really don't think so, no. A lot of what I've learned from the technology that I use in my classroom is by researching, using my own time, through trial and error. For instance, I can give a specific example with the ViewSonic TVs. I've had one for 3 years. I use it every single day, and I know that I'm not using it to its full potential. And as I said, I've learned just kind of by experimenting with it on my own time. I've never been trained on it. And finally this year I'm told that during our middle school academy we're going to be trained on them. So I'm thrilled to hear that. But I think too many times in the county we're given these tools and the training isn't there to kind of back it up. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to use something like that to its full potential if it's new to you. So.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's not training? Is it time? Is it money? What do you think it is?
I can only guess because, I'm not at the board office and I don't know what goes on, but I'm thinking it's probably a combination of time, money, and kind of being organized and thinking things through from start to finish. I just think sometimes the cart gets before the horse, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Do you think do you feel your building principal or I know you just spoke of the the board office, the county level, district level directors and stuff. Do you think your principal, your district level leadership, do you think they keep you regularly updated, or like does one and not the other, or can you maybe expand on that?
I think, as far as the principals, I think to an extent their hands are tied as well. I really think that training of that nature should come from the board. Mm-hmm. And as I said, I'm not a fly on the wall. I don't know what goes on. But anytime I've approached my administration at the school level, they've been very open. If there were any trainings that I wanted to go to, I was welcome, to go. I never felt pressured, not to take time off of school and such. But I think that I just think there's room for improvement there, and it has to start at the board.
Mm-hmm. Do you, when something goes wrong with your technology that you have, are you supported with a solution?
Yes, and I've been very fortunate. One time, actually, this was last year, my ViewSonic just stopped working, and I attempted to do everything that I knew of, and our tech expert came in, and he even attempted to do what he thought would work. Nothing seemed to work, so I actually got another ViewSonic. When I've had computer issues, I really feel like things have been handled in a timely manner. I'm not the only person in the county. Mm-hmm. You have to be patient. You can't expect to make a phone call and have someone return your phone call and solve your problem the next day. So I think it's a two-way street. You've got to be patient, but I've been fortunate. Everything that's been an issue with me has been handled in a relatively timely manner.
Do you think you have enough? Do you think we have enough, you or all of us, I guess, in a sense, have enough access to technology?
Oh, to technology in general?
Yeah, in general.
I honestly would have said no prior to this upcoming year because my students at the 7th grade level didn't have Chromebooks. Uh-huh. But I think next year, now that all of the students will have Chromebooks, all of the teachers will have new laptops, we're all going to have a ViewSonic TV, and I'm understanding the training that goes with all of that technology. My answer is yes. I think we do have that access now. Prior to that, not so much.
And that's one of my hopes with this study is I would like to do it again in like a couple years.
Oh, that's a great idea.
To see how it's changed.
Yeah.
Just with, my suggestions and things that we're doing coming up. So I'm kind of excited to see that.
Sure, that's a great idea. I'd be interested to know about that too, and I'd be glad to take part in another interview if you'd like. That's a great idea.
I know we've touched on the district level, the county level. Uh-huh. Do you feel, and we've pretty much touched on this, but do you have anything to add to this question? Do you feel the district does an adequate job in meeting your needs with professional development relating to educational technology?
Yeah, prior to this upcoming year, no. Yeah. I don't think they've I hate to be critical, but honestly, as I said before, if you're going to give anybody the technology to work with, you've got to train them. We as teachers are expected to, present our students with technology, and we're expected to teach them, and I really don't think we as teachers should be any different. But I'm very hopeful for the future, the very near future, this summer, in fact, to see some improvement in that area.
You mentioned the ViewSonic. What would other than that, what would your ideal classroom look like when there's no limit to money, no limit to anything? What would the ultimate classroom look like?